What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react to the Canadian Coast Guard. And it actually says here that they are deploying something called Wabanaki-Class Hovercraft. So I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I have no idea what this is. But it sounds really cool, and it actually sounds like Canada is busting out some kind of crazy military vehicle. And it says here this is meant to combat massive ice sheets. And so the Canadian Coast Guard is deploying this rare $17 million weapon. So today, I just want to check this out and see what all of this is. So let's take a look. Exceptional boats, the hovercraft. Okay.
The nights are long on the St. Lawrence River.
Oh my God.
045.
We're well into spring, but the layer of ice is still thick, up to 80 centimeters in some places.
Whoa. Being in the Canadian Coast Guard is intense. This is the kind of stuff that you guys are... You actually sail boats through this stuff? I wouldn't have thought that, like... Well, that was really possible, or... You guys make it look kind of casual, actually.
The Martha Black goes up and down this part of the river between Three Rivers and Montreal. This icebreaker, belonging to the Canadian Coast Guard and its 50 crew, have spent the winter clearing the shipping lane and escorting freighters.
They said this was like near Montreal? Honestly, by the look of this, I thought this was somewhere like way north. Like in the Arctic regions, like by the North Pole or something. This is how frozen and icy and crazy it gets, like in that part of Canada. That's insane. And their job is to... This is the most... The more I hear about this, this is the most Canadian thing ever. Because obviously Canada is known for being like very, very cold and having very intense winter. And this really demonstrates that. So you have dedicated military personnel whose job, the mission, is to go up and down this river, basically clearing out the route, like clearing the ice. Is that right?
The danger is, if a lump of winter ice breaks away and gets into the channel, that would be the problem we'd have to face. Given that we're getting days that are warmer and warmer, and they're forecasting rain for tomorrow, so there's a risk that the water level will rise, and that can create cracks in the ice, especially in the next few days when winds of around 20 knots are forecast. We could be busier than usual in the next few days.
Huh. Wow, I didn't know that this was like such a big deal. It's kind of one of those things that must be very, very important, but honestly isn't something that most of us ever think about. And to do this, I mean, you have to have a pretty good understanding of like nautical science and ice and weather and all this stuff, right? This is very
So during
ominous.
the deep cold of winter, one of the longest rivers in the world becomes hostile territory.
Oh my God.
But for others, it's just one vast playground where you can measure yourself against the elements.
What is going on here, Canadians? What are you doing? Who are these guys? They're in like a... I don't know what you call this kind of boat. Like, it's got like oars. They're paddling a boat through this? What's happening? What's going on? What? I just shouldn't even ask any questions anymore. It's just Canadian things, I guess. That's all you need to know. Where are we exactly? This is crazy. So this is like some town with glaciers floating by.
In her house on the riverbank, Lynn White is going through the morning ritual. With all the snow that fell during the night, and in view of the falling temperatures, this captain of the Three Rivers Coast Guard knows she could be in for a busy day.
Oh, she's the captain.
Her bosun Piero is already on the road towards the city harbor, where a big package is waiting for him.
Okay. This is not exactly what I expected. This is almost like a documentary about like this whole thing. It's actually really cool. Got your big old shovel.
Perched aboard a freighter, this strange machine has arrived straight from England, where it was built.
This is this the Wabanaki whatever hovercraft thing? Is that the strange machine? Are we finally seeing it?
Custom made for the Canadian Coast Guard.
What? Oh boy.
It's not a boat. We're sailors, but it's not a boat. It's a sort of hybrid between a plane and a boat. Makes a lot of noise, but it does an extraordinary job.
Huh? Okay, so this is where I'm a bit confused. What is this thing? It's not a boat. It's kind of like a plane. Oh, okay, that clears everything up. Yeah. It's a boat plane, like James Bond. And somehow it's meant to help clear ice, I guess? This is custom built for the Canadian Coast Guard, just for Canadian activities. What on earth?
We're going to fit her out to her own taste. We're going to modify her so that she'll be pleasant to work with, so she'll be kind to us because she'll take on a personality. This machine here is going to turn into a character.
What?
Well, it's impressive. Somebody said it was built in England and it cost $17 million.
Hold on. What am I seeing right here? What are they? This thing isn't like floating. Is it? Am I seeing this correctly? Because they're kind of zoomed in. This thing isn't floating like 20 feet off the ground, is it?
Ça avait coûté $17 millions.
The giant metal insect takes its first steps on the ice of the St. Lawrence.
What is happening? I think this thing is floating off the ice. I mean, it is supposed to be like a hovercraft but I've never seen anything like this. It looks like a boat, but it's not really touching the water.
The vehicle riding on cushions of air that can sail at over 50 knots. There are less than a dozen of them in the world.
What?
A little later at the Three Rivers base, Piero has joined his crew on the old Wabanaki.
That's insane. That's so cool. It's almost a shame that this is just for like taking care of ice problems, or not that I like want conflict, but in a weird way, like I want to see this thing out like in the army, like with giant rockets on it, like that. I don't want anyone to get hurt, but this thing is crazy, and I want to see it do like some futuristic combat thing. Or anyway, maybe that's not practical, and maybe I've played too many video games.
While he supervises maneuvering, Lynn White is at the helm.
Whoa! So, are they? It looks like they're on a solid sheet of ice. This thing can basically, that's the benefit. You can drive over uneven terrain, any terrain by the ice, water, broken ice. So this thing has the unique ability to maneuver in this crazy river with all the snow and ice, and that's really cool. And what a like really fascinating solution. Now I just want to know what they do with it. It looks like a boat. Funny enough, if you saw this, you'd be mistaken. You'd think it was just like a boat. What?
Piloting such a machine is far from easy. It's a bit like driving a car flat out on a skating rink.
Oh. Okay. It can literally drive on ice. That is insane. Oh, whoa, wait. It's cutting the ice, right? It's breaking the ice? How?
As it glides, the Wabanaki creates a wave, and this wave will deform and then break the layer of ice.
What? What? So just the act of driving it around breaks the ice, basically, because of science. And that's really cool. What a unique solution to this problem. Like, we got a bunch of ice blocking all the trade routes and the travel, and what do we let's drive a hovercraft over it. And they'd be like, Bob, stop. Fire him. And then someone else like, wait, that could work. Fire that guy too. And then the admiral's like, wait, that can be a thing. Hire them again. And then you have this. And this is really, genuinely, joking aside, this is really cool.
We try to push the wave laterally so as to increase the width of the ice field that we can break.
Okay.
If the ice is a little flexible, it breaks. So independently of the size of the wave that we can create, the amount of ice we can break with the wave depends upon the thickness.
Wow. I had no idea this was a thing, that this was so important, that this was possible. I guess the only thing I'm wondering now, once they break the ice, can you just drive a ship through it, I guess? Maybe it's that simple.
During the summer months, the hovercraft specialize in rescue work because they can move over very shallow water. During the winter, their main mission is to break the ice off the banks of the St. Lawrence so that it can be carried out to the ocean by the current.
Oh, you don't gotta do anything after that. The current just takes it out. Cool, okay, great.
The clearing of the ice on Lake Saint-Pierre will begin in a few minutes.
When the hovercraft breaks all those pieces of ice for hours, it looks like a puzzle because there are thousands of pieces of ice floating around. If you join them all up into one, it would look like an ice cap. It's very beautiful to see.
It is crazy. Like, I've never seen anything quite like it either. And like I said, I certainly didn't know anything like this even existed.
It makes for quite precarious conditions to monitor because sometimes there are dangers. If there are big pieces of ice not sufficiently broken up, we report them and they go out and break them into smaller pieces.
Huh. It never ends. You break them up again. There's obviously like a lot more to this probably than just what they're describing here, but yeah, I thought this was really, really cool sounding, and it turns out it is genuinely very, very cool, and something I've never thought about, and it's unique. It's a unique problem with a unique solution, and very Canadian, and it's just cool. So I'm glad I took some time to check this out. So anyway, if you enjoyed this, feel free to give this video a like, or leave a comment with your thoughts on this crazy Canadian hovercraft. If you knew about this. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Canadian things that I've never seen before, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.